In this video, I'm going to be talking about 10 things that nobody uses in ERLC. If you don't use any of these, let me know in the comments as well. But like and subscribe if you enjoy. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so we'll start off over here at the tool store. Now, there is one tool in specific that you guys will probably know what I'm talking about. And it is this right here, the spray can. Nobody uses the spray can. When it was added, I remember loads and loads of people were really excited about it and really liked the idea of it and how it would work, but you know, shortly after it kind of just got forgotten about and no one really uses it. It is pretty cool how you can place graffiti all over the place. It is kind of nice. I feel like it does kind of ruin the map as well, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I feel like if you're just in a public server and you're a new player, this will look kind of stupid and you know, kind of ruin the map a bit, but it is pretty cool how it works, I guess. And obviously if I create a mafia over here as well, if I come over here and start a mafia, as you can see, if I change the color of my mafia to, I don't know, like let's go like a pink, and then go back to the spray can, as you can see, all the graffiti is now pink, which is a nice little feature, and I do really like that, to be honest. I think it adds that little bit more detail to it, but even so, graffiti just doesn't really have a use. I'm sure the developers knew people wouldn't really use it too much when they added it. It doesn't really have too much of a use. It's just another one of them cool little things that are in the game. And the next one is over here on the DOT team. So it's over in the gear, and it is the work light. No one uses this work light simply because it just doesn't really have a use. Even at like borders and actual like role plays and stuff, I don't really see these work lights being used. They are pretty cool, although I do see why people don't use them. You don't really need to use them. They don't really make a difference. It can be cool though if you want to like stand here and you know, it just has a nice lighting effect, I think, which is pretty cool. If you place loads of them, it does get really bright. As you can see, look at this. Jesus Christ. Let's get rid of some of them. Sorry if any of you are watching this in the dark. But yeah, the work light is just one of them things that was forgotten about and no one really uses it. In all fairness, I don't know why it was added, and people do still use it, of course. People will still use all of these tools in rare circumstances, but for this, I mean, they might use it on the odd roleplay they do or something, but other than that, people don't really use them. And I also think that's because you can only place 4 in a public server, which is kind of sad. So yeah, maybe if you could place more or something, it would be a bit more used, but I just think it's not something people want to use all the time anyway. And now we need to head over to the fire station. So there are actually a few tools I'm going to be talking about in this video. Now, some of them are used for specific like special roleplay scenes. For example, the hazmat neutralizer isn't used much, but that's simply just because you can only use it in like a major server call out, which doesn't happen very often because it has to be the chemical spill. That's why it's not used very much. Of course, the life ring as well. No one ever uses this. Like literally, I have not seen one person use this in my entire time of playing ERLC, except in very specific role plays that need it, or maybe for a video or something. But yeah, never really used that, although that wasn't even on this list. What is on this list is the spreaders. So again, I think this is only really used on the major server callouts, but even so, on the major server callouts, I don't think people even use these very much because you just don't really need to. Like, they are cool. I like how you can hold F and R to open and close them, but other than that, I mean, I don't really see it. I don't see the need of it. I guess it is cool if you are doing role plays, but you know, if this wall is a car and you need to open it, you can come here and you can like open the doors or something, you know what I mean? But people just don't do that, especially in public servers or private servers as well. People just forget these things actually exist. The problem with ERLC is there's actually so many features. A lot of people forget that each feature actually does exist, if that makes sense, and they just don't use them. And the next one is the hydraulic strut. When I saw this was in the game, I actually completely forgot that this was even in the game. I cannot lie. It's really cool how it works, how you can actually like hold things up like that. That's awesome. It's so cool. But again, I think it's just one of them things that a lot of people have actually forgotten about, so they just don't really use it. And to be honest, I don't really know the exact use of a hydraulic strut. I assume it's probably if like a car's fallen over or something, so you can maybe like hold it in place or something. There's no need for that in ERLC, right? Like the car won't fall over, it will stay without needing a hydraulic strut. So I don't know why that's here. I don't know why they added it, but fair enough. It's a cool feature to have anyway. And then finally, we have the cutters, which is also pretty much the same as the spreaders. This is the cutters, this is the spreaders. There is not much different. The cutters just have a slightly different use, which is okay. And again, I think it's the same as the spreader. You might use them in specific circumstances like a major roleplay scene, but other than that, people have just completely forgot about this feature. But let's move on to the police team, and boy have I got a lot to talk about over here. There are a lot of features on the police team that people have forgotten about, so let's get into it. The first thing that I want to talk about, if I can find it, is actually the stop stick. So the stop stick was never really used in the first place. The stop stick is very, very interesting in ERLC. I think the stop stick was added because they needed some kind of spike strip or some kind of thing to stop vehicles with wanted drivers. So that's why they added it, and you can place it here, and then if someone was wanted and they drive through there, their tires are gonna pop when they go over it. I've no idea how this works. It's just a bit of plastic that pops your tires, but fair enough. If it's realistic, it's realistic. However, ERLC, instead of trying to make more people use this, they actually thought, you know what, nah, let's make even less people use it, and they added the spike strip. So now people just use the spike strip. They'll place it here, they'll place it over there, and it will do the same job as a stop stick, but it will be more precise because it covers actually the whole way, and this can go on like really, really far, as you can see there. So that just makes the stop stick even more useless now because no one uses it. People use it if they're just trying to get XP and they're really angry at someone and they want to get them. They'll place loads of stop sticks and a spike strip all over the map, and then eventually their tires, the criminals' tires, will be popped. But other than that, the stop stick is not used. It hardly was used in the first place, but now it's not used for roleplay anyway. People use it for roleplay a little bit, but other than that, no. People don't use it to roleplay. That's just because we have the spike strip now. And the next thing I want to talk about is actually probably one of the biggest ones in this video, and it is the beanbag shotgun. I do not ever see anybody using this in ERLC, like ever. Like, it is really, really cool how it works, but I never see people use it. The beanbag shotgun, what it does is it works the same as a gun, except when you shoot, instead of injuring the player, it will just make them sit down, if that makes sense. So it doesn't really have too much of a use aside from that. It's just a gun that doesn't deal damage. A lot of servers have this banned, to be honest, because it's still pretty much a gun, and they don't have these in many places in real life. So a lot of private servers will have this banned, but it is pretty cool if you want to arrest someone instead of kill them. So yeah, if you ever want to arrest someone instead of killing them and you don't have a taser or something, a beanbag shotgun could help. Similar with pepper spray as well. Pepper spray is one that isn't really used too much, but still can be very, very cool. And the next thing is actually one of the newest updates to ERLC. It is this right here. This is the customizable duty belt. Now, this is used, all right? Let me just say this now. This isn't an underused feature. It is used a lot. But my problem with this is that you use it once and you're probably never going to use it again. Like, you can customize your duty belt and that's it. You can't customize it again. Well, you can customize it again, but you wouldn't want to, because once you've already customized it to how you want it to be, then what's the point in doing it again? You've already done it. That should be it. I feel like this would have taken the developers so much time to make, and it's just a little feature, really. It's not something people really wanted specifically. And at the end of the day, some people do still have stuff they purchased with Robux for UGC, so they'll just keep using them instead of the customizable duty belt. And like I said, a lot of people use that, but they won't use it repeatedly. For example, the taser, yeah, a lot of people use it, but they use it every day. Every time they join the police team, they'll use the taser, but every time they join the police team, they aren't going to come over here and then come down here and then customize their duty belt, in my opinion. Anyways, the next and the last one that I'm going to talk about is the surveillance drone. When this was added, it was really, really cool, and now no one uses it. I think this was added for the summer update last year, if I remember correctly, or police week or something, but yeah, people just don't use it now. People have forgotten about this quite a lot. I mean, I don't know why it was really added. It's pretty cool, but it doesn't have the most use, right? Like, the battery is okay and the signal is okay. It's not brilliant. Look, I'm only over there and I'm already running out of signal. Look, I'm on a bad signal, so it's gonna cut out very soon, which is kind of annoying because, like, you know what I mean? Because if you need to hide from somewhere and still have a drone that watches them, then it can be pretty annoying that you have a very strict signal, but it is pretty cool. You can also go, I think this is like heat mode or something, yeah, which, as you can see, it does let you see people a bit better. As you can see, my avatar over there, you can see me very, very, very clearly. This is probably one of the best features for roleplay, but people just don't really use it. You can see what's going on and report down to officers on the ground, but it's just not really a very used feature. And there isn't many situations where you would need to use that. And additionally, you can also press this where it will just return it to you. So as you can see, my drone's up there and it will just return over here, and then it will land just here, which is a really cool feature as well. Again, I don't know why they probably spent so much time adding this drone, but it is a very cool feature, as you can see. And of course, the fire department and the civilians do have access to this as well, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that is it for this video. Let me know in the comments, which of these features do you not use as well? Do you use any of these, or do you agree with me and you don't use any of these features? I'd love to know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!